This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today brought to you by a host of great sponsors where they all combine to wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving. We want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne, Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, Platte Valley Bank on Vanda High and at the corner of College and Pershing, Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Delrange, right across from Powers Field and Menards, Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse, B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue, Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard, First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, and Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. All of our fine sponsors, again, want to wish you and your family a very special and happy Thanksgiving. And our scoreboard, also brought to us by our very special friends at Pepsi of Cheyenne. Make sure you have plenty of Pepsi on hand tomorrow for all of the ball games as well. Let's go to the scoreboard. Here's Nick.
Recapping last night's action for LCCC men's basketball as they were on the road at Trinidad State Junior College, taking on the Trojans, where unfortunately for LCCC, they lost at a close one, 80-77. So with that loss, LCCC falls to 1-7 overall. Their next contest will be coming up this Saturday live from Price, Utah, as they'll take on Utah State University Eastern, taking on the Eagles. That is a 3 o'clock tip time there in Price, Utah, a game that we will have here live on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480 KRAE.com, and video live streaming on Periscope via Twitter and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. NHL action for tonight, Buffalo Sabres at home. They will host the Calgary Flames. You also too will see the Ottawa Senators. They will be at home taking on the Boston Bruins. Toronto Maple Leafs will travel to Detroit to see the Red Wings. Tampa Bay Lightning at a Mill Arena will host the St. Louis Blues. New York Rangers in Madison Square Garden will take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Vancouver Canucks will travel to Pittsburgh to see the Penguins. In the nation's capital, in Capital One Arena, the Washington Capitals will host the Florida Panthers. Philadelphia Flyers will go to Columbus to see the Blue Jackets. In Nashville at Bridgestone, the Predators will host the Vegas Golden Knights. The Anaheim Ducks will travel out to Phoenix to see the Arizona Coyotes. Down in Pepsi Center, down in Denver, Colorado, the Colorado Avalanche will host the Edmonton Oilers. That's an 8 o'clock at least start time down there. You can see it on Altitude Network or ESPN+. LA Kings at Staples, they will host the New York Islanders. And last but not least, in the Shark Tank in San Jose, California, the San Jose Sharks will host the Winnipeg Jets. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA slate, it will be the Magic and the Cavaliers and the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. Jazz Pacers at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Nets and the Celtics in the TD Garden. Kings and 76ers at the Wells Fargo Center. Pistons Hornets in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. At the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. It will be the Raptors playing host to the New York Knicks. The Atlanta Hawks will be on the road. They'll be in Milwaukee at the Fiserv Forum to take on the Bucks. Clips and the Grizz tonight in the FedEx Forum. Heat and the Rockets in the Toyota Center in Houston. The San Antonio Spurs in the AT&T Center. They'll match up with the Timberwolves, Wizards, Suns at the Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix. It is a busy slate for tonight. Lakers, Pelicans in the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Thunder and the Trailblazers, they will hook up at the Moda Center. Bulls and the Warriors tonight in the Chase Center. And taking a look towards football action on tap for tomorrow. Your Turkey Day NFL games will run like this. The Lions will have the opener at Ford Field. They'll host the Chicago Bears. The Bills and the Cowboys, your afternoon tilt from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And the evening game, 6:20, will be from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, GA, with the Falcons hosting the New Orleans Saints. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
At Mountain Dew, we say here's to the doers.
The people who know you gotta do what you gotta do.
Who do it big.
Then do it bigger.
Who don't just watch.
So if there's something you want to do,
Here's a little advice.
Grab yourself an ice-cold Mountain Dew.
and get to it.
That's right. Get going.
Get started.
Stand up.
Jump up.
Grab hold of it.
Throw down on it.
Run with it.
Now. Right now.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week.
Next month.
Next year.
Work it out.
Grind it out.
Get stoked.
Get passionate.
And do it.
Do it till it hurts.
Do it till you can't.
Do it till you've done it.
And most of all, don't ask how other people do it.
Don't ask how you should do it.
Don't ask if it can be done.
Don't ask if it's ever been done.
Because there are those who don't.
And those who do.
At Mountain Dew, we say,
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Do the do.
That lazy and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Program, we'll hear from head coach Vic Fangio of the Denver Broncos as they prepare for the Los Angeles Chargers in Denver this weekend, and we'll also hear comments from Mike Malone after the Nuggets win last night, where they now improved to 13-3, and we'll keep it on the basketball mode here in just a moment.
Well,
NFL,
it's like we had plenty on the basketball side, more so collegiate again.
Anyway, NFL all done with the bye, so it's going to be a full slate of games. 3 Turkey Day games tomorrow. I don't know about you, Nick, but the only one that gives me any interest is the middle game. And as much as I despise the Cowboys, I'll be cheering for old Josh Allen and the Bills tomorrow at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, I have no interest, at least in any NFL games coming up tomorrow. Again, you have like one lone NHL game, I think a few NBA games, but other than that, though, again, tomorrow it's like, just kind of ease up on the sports day. But again, Buffalo versus Dallas, is it really going to be a contest? I think Buffalo should take care of business pretty handily against this Cowboys team. Cowboys are not impressive. Bills, like I said, of what we've seen so far out of Josh Allen crew, they should get it done, and they should take care of business pretty handily against this Dallas squad that, again, is talent-wise,
Dallas
matchup-wise.
is favored by 6.5 points.
It's hard to believe that, but good for them to get confidence out there, at least at home, or maybe it's just kind of going off of growing trends with the Cowboys, and at least in Thanksgiving Day games. I don't know. I don't really care about at least what is Vegas lines on this contest.
Well,
Buffalo should take care of business.
What people should care about. There's a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans here. And if the Cowboys lose to the Bills, and we're already hearing grumblings from Jerry Jones, and he's already starting to lay blame, not on the team, but basically on the coaching staff. He's the one who's kept Jason Garrett around because Garrett's cheap. I mean, it's not costing him a pile of money to keep Garrett and the staff on. I would think that might be his final call, basically.
I don't think so, because why get rid of your head coach when you're still in a shot, or at least in a good position right now, to win the NFC East? Why? Why would you move on?
You still have to go to Philly and the Eagles. Eagles, if I look down.
That's fine and dandy, but again, this team is not dead last. This team is not terrible in one of the worst divisions.
Eagles have the Dolphins, so basically Philadelphia could get even with Dallas after Sunday.
All right, that's fine, but again, for Dallas, you're still in it to win the NFC East.
Well,
I mean, let's be honest. Why would you move on?
After the season, I would think Jason Garrett's going to be history.
I think without a doubt, if they don't make it to the playoffs, if it's a one-and-done effort, if it's something that, yes, they win that East, but yet exit out pretty early, which I think they will, I would not doubt that it's pretty much the final straw where, again, Cowboy fans, this is no longer America's team. No one cares about the Dallas Cowboys,
right,
or at least not as overwhelming as a couple decades ago, but it is something that you would think that this is the final straw for fans, for Jerry Jones, for, again, this used to be a perennial NFL franchise that is now pretty much just,
Well, right now they would be the number 4 seed, and they would match up with number 5. You think Seattle can't beat them? Or if it was flip-flop, the 49ers can't beat these guys? Easy. And I shouldn't say easy, but it would be a road victory for either or the Niners or the Seahawks.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to college hoops, a couple of them. First off, you mentioned with the Laramie County Community College Golden Eagles, we will be on the road with Coach Jason Ficca and the gang. We will be headed over to Price, Utah. I do believe we're taking off here on Friday. Game time will be on Saturday. You'll hear that live here on 1480 KRAE, as well as live streaming it with Nick.
Yeah, we've
YouTube.
got that coordinated and everything. Again, LCCC heading out at least this Friday. Game Saturday, 3 o'clock. Out there in Price, Utah, against LCCC. It's versing a team, a Utah State Eastern team, the Eagles. That's their lone win for LCCC, again, on 1-7. At least the only team they've beaten so far here in 2019 has been this Eagles team that they're going to see on the road. That was earlier in the season, a part of that Golden Eagle tip-off, at least shootout here in town, that round-robin kind of tournament where they saw both Northeastern and also, too, that Utah State team here in town. So, you know what to expect out of this team. You've beaten them before, albeit you had to come from behind and win that contest at the rack. It's going to be different now traveling that long distance, about 8 hours to get out there, again, sleeping and trying to get adjusted to that, at least gymnasium out there in Utah. It's going to be a lot different, but at least you would think that a lot of these players, whether it's the freshmen, sophomores, a part of this Golden Eagles team, has to have some sort of confidence that, hey, we can at least match up well with this team.
I think the confidence might even kick in a little bit for the effort at Trinidad State yesterday afternoon. Again, we've been many trips down to Trinidad State, and they have been just rough.
I've only been on one.
Well, I've been down there for about 3-4 trips, but the point is it's been rough on the Golden Eagles, and they almost came away with a victory. They only lost by 3 yesterday, 80-77. They were without the services of Kyle Cabbs, so that's 6'6". That's not on your forward line.
We'll obviously get more information from Jason Ficca on our pregame show, part of that contest. Again, we won't have our LCCC coaches show today because, again, this is the final show of Wyoming Sports Talk today for this week before we get on the road and also with the Thanksgiving holiday. But, again, we've basically told both coaches and players, hey, happy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you next week. But you wonder, again, Kyle Cabbs, where we look back to his freshman year, having the ankle issue that at least knocked him out for majority.
He got dinged up a little bit against Otero.
Otero as well, too. So we'll see at least what the extent of it is from head coach Jason Ficca and get an update of, or at least a timetable of when they can expect him to return. Still
struggling at that guard position between Damon Perry and Eric Oliver. They went 9 of 29 yesterday. And, again, that's less than 33% from the field. You got to start sinking more biscuits in the basket. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, but you look at your starters, though, compared to where we were at for Otero, for Northeastern. Hey, at least from your starters, you got a full effort, and some, at least, bench players picked up some of the slack as well, too. Again, you had 6 different Golden Eagles that were in double figures, at least in last night's contest. Again, you look at Damian Perry getting 10 points, Eric Oliver with 13. Leader was Courtney Dean, who has kind of picked it up here at a few contests right now. He's kind of stepped up his contest. He led the team with 15 points. Mateo Zovko as well, too, being a starter, 14 points. 14 points for Ash. And also, too, off of the bench, Chris Grace with 11 points. So, again, at least it was a full team effort, which has kind of been a rarity of this, at least LCCC team here early on. Again, you've had kind of spotlights or at least some entities stepping it up and others just kind of falling by the wayside. But
but the question is, and you mentioned Ash Chedua, the question is, when is he going to pony up to the bar and get into that starting lineup? But again, they got 10 minutes out of Caleb Davis, but again,
0 points.
0 points. He had 5 boards, but Ash yesterday did the double-double.
Yeah.
In 29 minutes. And again, he's still rough around the edges. The young man from Toronto, Canada, is still a little rough around the edges, but you can see his game improving.
I think he's proven enough to the point to at least head coach Jason Ficca to say, yes, I deserve to be at least your starting middle guy right now for this Golden Eagles squad, especially after what he did last night down there on the road. I think he's got enough respect. And we've seen him in 2 games now at this point in time where, again, he can get it done. He is a freshman. He is rough around the edges, diamond in the rough, so to speak. Again, it's going to take some time with Ash, but right now we're seeing that he's got stints. He's got that talent. He's got that athleticism. And, again, he's not afraid to take on those bigs throughout at least Region 9 or, again, this non-conference for LCCC. So I wouldn't be surprised if he is your number 5 coming up at least this Saturday out there in Utah.
Don't know. But the thing is, too, with the Golden Eagles, again, loss is a loss. So that, that goes against the overall record. But the thing that I liked about last night and looking at all of the numbers here, at least in the second half, they didn't disappear. They actually outscored Trinidad in the second half. That's not to say that Trinidad's a down team this year as compared to years past. Bottom line is, you're making a 5-hour trip down there, playing in their gym. They moved the game up because of weather conditions.
Yeah.
And again, because LCCC needs to, hit the road again here, and they got to beat the weather going to Utah.
Which it turns out the roads were pretty decent getting back.
They were
I-25
okay.
did not get closed down, thankfully.
But, again, you lose 80-77 at Trinidad State. No one likes to lose, but the bottom line is you didn't go away. I mean, you could have folded. You were down by 5 at half like you did against Otero.
Yeah.
And they at least made an effort to, hang around, and by game's end, they only lost by 3.
But the key factor of this is that this team is now 1-7 overall. Right now, again, you haven't won a game since looking back, at least that Utah State Eastern game was all the way back November 1st. We're approaching right now the end of November. It's been an entire month since you have won a contest, whether it is on the road or at home with this LCCC squad. That's the short and long of it, so to speak, with this Golden Eagles team of it's got to, you wonder if it's affecting the psyche of these freshmen and also to that sophomore core with the Golden Eagles right now where it's been a long time since you won a contest. Yes, you had a great effort last night against Trinidad State. You still lost, though. Again, that still counts as an L towards that, at least mounting, at least losing total right now for the 2019-2020 campaign. Again, they're human. Let's be honest. Again, they're freshmen. Some of them that are used to winning or at least may not be used to what is happening right now with this team and trying to figure things out. You wonder if it's going to affect that psyche. Again,
right now,
do they look more at that 3-point loss, or is it just, wow, we lost again?
Here's where you should take a look at. It's beyond the arc. That's where they're not good.
Yeah.
You shot 26.5%. That's 9 of 34 from 19 feet, 9 inches.
They stepped up free throws, though, again.
They were only 6 of 10.
Yeah, they didn't have a whole lot of attempts, but I mean, at least at 60%.
But the thing is, though, they're going to have to get the sharpshooter eye in here pretty quick. If you're going to launch from beyond the arc, you better start popping them.
Well, again, the two entities that are kind of the main go forward.
5 of 15.
Well, I'll say 3 of them because we'll include Perry in that. But again, your main target, so to speak, from behind the arc is Eric Oliver, and also to Courtney Dean, who again, Eric Oliver going 3 for 8, and Courtney Dean was 3 of 9, as you mentioned. Yeah, that's not going to get it done.
No. So again, this is the part that concerns me right now. Again, Ash coming in off the bench, Chidua, and again, like I said, I really like this kid. He's really rough, but he's 5 of 5 inside. And he garnered up 10 boards.
Yeah.
So that tells me this guy is starting to take his game to that next level. Well, right now with the shooting woes that we have from our guards and a little bit there from Courtney Dean on the forward side, and even Mateo Zovko, he's 1 of 6 from beyond the arc.
And,
you know what?
And you're talking about guard woes right now where it's like, for head coach Jason Ficca, we've seen him maneuver many a time in the couple seasons that we've covered LCCC. Again, how many starting lineups have we encountered with, again, the amount of reserves that he has? You wonder if, again, taking into account, the guy that is right now stepping up as a 6th man, so to speak, or at least can fill one of those guard roles, either taking over Perry or Oliver, is one Chris Grace as well. Again, Look what he did last night, again, mounting up 11 points.
But he also struggled from beyond the arc as well.
Everyone is at this point in time. I mean, it is a full team effort. It's something what we saw in NJC where, free throws is what killed that team and what at least avoided
It's been one or the other that's hurt this team. Yeah. Like you said, free throws at NJC, absolute poor shooting. And again, we watched some very good open shots that the Golden Eagles were missing.
I think in that Otero contest, it was more so a lack of fundamentals. It was more so of easy layups you should be making.
Yeah, easy bunnies. But here, you look at last night, and you can see that this team, even though it shot 43% from the field last night and shot only 27%, 26.5% from beyond the arc, it's in a funk right now. It's in a shooting funk.
Yeah.
And once they can start, tickling the twine a little bit, this might be this is a team that could put a Hondo up.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. If that offense can flow, without a doubt, again, if you can get Perry, Oliver, and, what we're seeing outputs from Mateo, from Courtney Dean, again, off of the bench with Ash or either Chris Grace, this is a team absolutely can put any team to shame and put up a hundo at least every single night. Doesn't matter who they're taking on. Again, we saw how competitive they were against a nationally ranked Otero junior college team this past at least a week ago here in town, where, again, they had a lead in that contest. They were only down by single digits at half, but, again, the poor shooting is what killed that team in that second half. But this is an LCCC team that right now, as it's figuring out its identity of what this Golden Eagles team is going to be about, again, it's way too inconsistent right now, where, again, you'll have Perry and Oliver have fantastic nights, but no one else helps them out. We saw that down in JC. It is something where either three-point shooting starting this team, free throws, lack of team effort in one contest. Again, it seems like it's always something new with this team where again it becomes that new Achilles heel for LCCC.
Well, and you also got to convince these guys, even though they're in a shooting slump right now, that you got to keep firing it up. Well, when do you get to a point where I get the ball and I don't want to shoot?
And again, we saw that last year with the women's team last year. Yeah. You wonder. You really wonder if that's going to rear its ugly head eventually at some point in time with this team. I highly doubt it. I don't foresee it. Again, this is a team that has put up shots, or at least, again, is not afraid to shoot when they do have the ball in their hands, even if it is kind of an ugly shot, so to speak. But we'll see. Again, there's still plenty of season remaining for LCCC, for this Golden Eagles team that we'll be covering here on 1480 KRAE.
What time is our game on? It's a Saturday
As I said many times, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock Saturday. I know it's Saturday afternoon.
All right, good.
All right.
Anyways, though, that's regarding the men. So, again, with their loss last night, again, they fall to 1-7 overall. Again, their next contest coming up this Saturday. Regarding last night as well, too, we were anticipating to have the contest on the women's side down in Otero Junior College. Again, as we mentioned on Monday, with the Lady Rattlers and the Lady Golden Eagles. Again, that game was canceled.
None of us got out of town.
Yeah, that was canceled on Monday. So, again, that game has been rescheduled to December 10th, where both men and women will travel down to La Junta to see Otero Junior College. So, again, for LCCC women's basketball and head coach Brian Ortmeyer, again, they haven't played in quite some time, for about 2 weeks now. Their next contest will be on the road, as they will be part of the at least Thanksgiving Classic happening down in Yuma, Arizona. Their contest happening Friday and Saturday. So, at least good luck to LCCC and the Lady Golden Eagles on their conquest as they head out to Arizona and be a part of that at least Thanksgiving Classic tournament happening out there.
And as Nick mentioned, we will still have the Lady Golden Eagles against the Lady Rattlers. We'll be part of a double dip here on 1480 KRAE.
Again, those times are to be determined once we get closer and find out that information.
It's just going to be another long travel day, two games, and then a long travel back. Know the drill. All right, we do need to take a timeout. Cowboys were in action last night. And once again, talk about frigid temperatures outside. It was very frigid inside the T-Mobile Arena. We're back after this.
Give your family and friends the gift of safety and security this holiday season with B&B Appliances' lineup of Ring doorbells and security cameras. Monitor your surroundings from the convenience of your phone or tablet. Any customer who purchases one of their connected home products will receive a free Google Mini while supplies last. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Ave. Best brands, hometown service.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
What if your bank was more than a bank? What if they gave their resources and the time and talents of their employees to make their community just a little bit better? At Platte Valley Bank, we do just that. Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank, and we are proud to support local events, causes, organizations, and charities that make our area a great place to live. Platte Valley Bank, putting our customers and communities first. Stop in or check us out at pvbank.com.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. This week, Super Radio buys, heard only right here, feature Malibu Coconut Rum, 1.75-liter bottle, $21.49. St. Brendan's Irish Cream Liqueur, 750-milliliter bottle, $9.99. And Keystone Light or Ice, 30-pack, 24-ounce cans, $18.49. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader. The sights and the sounds of the Christmas season has returned to family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. Check out the gorgeous selection of fresh-cut Christmas trees inside the greenhouse and out of the cold, featuring Fraser, Balsam, and Grand Fir, along with Mountain Cut in sizes 3 to 9 feet. Check out the 10 to 13-foot cathedral trees, featuring Balsam and Fraser firs. Riverbend also has live container trees to enjoy all year in 3 to 7 feet. Delivery is available. Plus, you can shop for fresh wreaths, boughs, garland, and so much more, including shopping inside the gift center. Gift certificates are available too from family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company since 1977 on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne. Open 7 days a week during the holiday season.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the wise for today, partly sunny, expected daytime high of 18. For tonight, mostly cloudy. Our low dropping down around 14 degrees. For tomorrow, the Thanksgiving Day holiday, we're calling for a mostly cloudy sky. Look for a daytime high of 31. Mostly cloudy Thursday night with our low down to 16 degrees.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Wyoming Sports Talk today. Well, we talked about LCCC men's basketball, and we can see what their problem is right now. It's just shooting. They're having problems from more than anything beyond the arc.
Well, hopefully this Saturday will be a nice shot in the arm. Again, it's a team that they've beaten before. Their only win is against this Eagles team. Hopefully they can gain some momentum and get the victory coming up this Saturday.
Cowgirls got back to the Mendoza line with their win earlier this week as they defeat North Dakota State 66-57. So they're 3-3 on the year. And, hopefully things will start progressing as this team gels together. For Coach Madison.
Again, a lot of, at least, experience left that team, along with also to head coach Joe Lagursi. So, again, it is something for Coach Madison trying to get this team as well with, again, the fresh faces, the new looks.
And lack of seniors, too.
Yeah, without a doubt. Your veteran, a part of this team, pretty much is, again, Taylor Rusk of what she's been trying to do. Again, she's been out there, again, Not necessarily the team leader, at least on points, but again, she is that kind of veteran, at least, voice for the Wyoming Cowgirls.
Do want to mention we got something in from UW today about the Cowboys. That'll be the December 7th contest against New Mexico.
Yeah, I've already posted that.
2 o'clock tap time at the AA, and they'll be retiring the Electric Man, Finis Dembo's jersey, number 34. So, again, from that Sweet 16 team, way back when. I mean, like I said, that was my first years here.
Do you know who all's other numbers are retired up there at UW?
One, Kenny Sailors, I know for sure, is retired up there. Let me think who else has a number retired. I think Reginald Slater's number has been.
Nope. How about just quit while you're ahead with Kenny Sailors? He's the
Kenny
only one right now that has his number retired. So
well, Reginald Slater should be the next one, the chairman of the board.
Well, we'll see. Again, that's up to at least the athletic department there at the University of Wyoming. But again, a Cowboy legend, so to speak. Again, you know of Cowboy basketball, you think of Finis Dimbo. So again, he will be a part of at least festivities. Again, will at least do the jersey retirement there at the AA. Again, a part of that New Mexico contest. Again, happening in early December. Again, 2:00. So at least an early start time to get fans out there and over to Laramie, Wyoming. So I do believe also too Finis will be at least signing autographs, taking photos as well too, and I think they also too will have like a photo booth as well. So again, big kind of festivities, and also too to get fans in front of Finis and take time with him, get autographs and all that fun stuff. At least in that contest.
It's ironic with Finis Dembo, and I even think back a few years after Finis, Tim Breaux, both those guys sporting NBA championship rings. Finis was on the bench for the Detroit Pistons, Bill Laimbeer and that group when they won the championship under Chuck Daly, and then Tim Breaux's got a couple of rings with the Houston Rockets back in the Clyde the Glide Drexler days.
Yeah.
So and Akeem Olajuwon. But anyway, it's a special time. When I got here in '86, that was their. If I'm not mistaken, they went to New York, the NIT, and I think they lost to Ohio State or won the NIT. I can't remember that. But the next year, that was the year they beat Virginia and UCLA to get into the Sweet 16. They lost to UNLV, Jerry Tarkanian's group.
Yeah.
And then that's the year that Jim Brandenburg decided he wasn't coming back. Entered Benny Dees, and Benny Dees took them to the first round. They had a great year, like 25-5, and then they ran into a Loyola Marymount team. That was
kind of the golden age of Cowboy basketball, where, again, right now this team is kind of far from having moments like that, unfortunately, again, as we look to what is happening now, at least here in 2019, of what we at least saw in the past couple of contests, as at least the University of Wyoming competing now, part of this, at least Vegas invite, so to speak, bringing in the likes of TCU, Colorado, Clemson as well, too. So nice kind of representation.
So did they bring the Cowboys in as cannon fodder or what?
It kind of felt like that at the beginning of the season, and it turned out kind of that same situation where we looked to last night's contest where, again, it was kind of like a consolation game, again, with Wyoming losing to Colorado. Basically, Colorado did win this, at least invitational, came away with a nice little championship belt because it is Las Vegas for whatever reason. But you look at last night's contest, again, at the T-Mobile Arena, neutral site between TCU and Wyoming, former Mountain West foes, but no longer, as TCU has moved on, again, being a part of the Big 12 conference now. But last night, that was pretty rough to see between those two. Wyoming in the first half, 14 points to TCU's 30. Final score, at least for this contest, 64-47 in favor of the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, the Cowboys realized in the second half you actually have to put biscuits in the basket to be competitive. This 14 points is 15 points.
I mean, they stepped it up in the second half at 33, but yeah.
This slow start by this Cowboy team is getting old.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And again, they shot 48 times last night, Nick. You know, we look over here. We're talking about LCCC. They put up the ball in their game 77 times. 73 times, and here's the Cowboys putting the ball up 48 times.
Again, it's a new-look defensive-first Cowboys team, without a doubt. We know that. This is a team where, again, we go back to, they scored 14 points in this first half. Against Colorado, they only scored 15. Granted, they were tied at half with at least a nationally ranked Colorado Buffs team, tied at 15 apiece in that previous contest. So, again, we know Wyoming, on the offense, it's slow to go. Without a doubt. It's been like that this entire season, unless you're taking on those D2, D3 opponents that, yes, you should whip on. And granted, Wyoming has taken advantage of that. The only one that they kind of let slip through was that Cal State Fullerton contest that they should have taken care of business there over there in the AA. But again, you look at who led the team, so to speak. It was one Jake Hendricks with 14 points. Hunter Maldonado, again, trying his best effort, 13 points. That was your top two scorers. Then after that, it pretty much fell off pretty heavily. Again, Hunter Thompson, the Pine Bluff, at least product, 5 points for him, 2 points for TJ Taylor. Let's see, Greg Milton was 7 points, 6 points for Brandon Porter, and that's your scoring for the Wyoming Cowboys. We're again 2 players in double figures, and that's it for your 47 points. Again, nothing really great showing for TCU, but again, they came away with a 64-point victory. 22 points for, at least it looks like Desmond Bain, PJ Fuller with 11 points. Those are your 2 double-digit figures for the Horned Frogs. At least 9 points for Jair Greer for the TCU Horned Frogs, and that's about it. Again, they still found a way to take care of business against the Wyoming Cowboys.
All right, so you lose to nationally ranked Colorado, and you got beat by double digits. You lose to the TCU Horned Frogs by double digits. So
are we expecting anything less?
No, but again, what are you looking at when you get to conference play? You look at San Diego State. You look at
right now,
Mexico. You look at even CSU.
Well, I'm just saying for Wyoming right now, teams that they can be competitive against.
What, Detroit Mercy?
No, I'm talking conference though. If you listen it, it's again for Wyoming. Air Force, you have a shot against the Falcons, probably against San Jose State. San Jose State right now sits above the Cowboys in at least in overall record, but I think they're 3-3.
I'll give you home and home on both.
Yeah, possibly. But other than that, though, again, out of the Mountain West right now, this is a Wyoming team that may slow down some of those upper echelon Utah States, New Mexico's. May slow them down where it's going to be competitive at half. But then as we're seeing, we saw in the Colorado game, we saw in TCU, I think it's something where it slows down. And then eventually in the second half, they pick up pace, they figure out things, find a way to get past that Wyoming defense and score points. This is, again, we're talking about a Cowboys team with a preseason that was picked to finish near dead last, right above San Jose State in the Mountain West Conference. Yeah. I still think they're on pace to do that as well.
And I believe they might not even match the win total they had last year. Mark the date down, 11/24 before the tap time against Colorado. They were 3-3. That's the only time you're going to hear that the Cowboys were at 500 this year.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse.
I would not doubt. Again, there are some games coming up in the non-conferences they should pick up wins against. Northern Colorado, you're going to probably struggle against DU. I would not be surprised if you struggle against Pioneers, but you could get that victory. You should pick up the victory.
You should beat Nebraska Wesleyan.
Yeah, without a doubt. You should not have at least any struggles against them, but it would not be surprising if at least that Nebraska team does pull off the, so to speak, upset against the Wyoming Cowboys team. Again, you go back to the team last year, again, as it escapes my name, at least escapes my thought process, but again, a D3 opponent that comes to the AA almost upset Wyoming there in the AA last season. It can happen. I mean, look at the Big Sky Northern Colorado Bears team that is now on a 2-game road winning streak against the Wyoming Cowboys. They're aiming for 3 straight, and I think they can pick up 3 straight against the Cowboys.
Again, this defensive first mantra by the Cowboys. Okay, well, yeah, you're shutting down, Colorado and TCU. You're holding them to.
You're slowing them down.
Yeah, you're holding them to 64 points. Unfortunately, you can't score.
Yeah.
I mean, again, let's talk about scoring 15 points in a 20-minute half, Nick. 15 points. I mean, that's less than high schools.
That's less than a point per minute.
Yeah. Great deduction out of that.
Yeah.
This is just not cutting it right now. And I don't know. Again,
will things change for the Cowboys? Will they pick it up at least, here in December or coming up at least once again in conference play? No, I don't think so.
But as you mentioned, the scorers last night. Hendricks with 14. He led the scoring parade. You had Maldonado, who was 4 of 13 from the field, okay? And then Hunter Thompson, a no-show with 5 points. The guy's 6'11".
Yeah.
Where's that output coming from? I mean, it's like it's not there.
And again, for Hunter Thompson to get a local product just at least 40 miles, at least to the east of us out of Pine Bluffs, being a part of that Hornets team where, again, they got some state championships, albeit, again, that is in kind of the lower down classes here in the state of Wyoming. But, right now you're relying on Hunter Malone. We know that. How long will you be able to rely on the guy? Again, we know that he gets, injured pretty often. He is injury prone. We know that. So it's how long can you rely on Hunter, at least Hunter Maldonado, to again output or at least kind of carry this team like a Justin James was doing it for the Cowboys last season. You wonder what the timeline, the time frame is going to be for him to at least stay healthy throughout this season. Again, Jake Hendricks, at least, again, picking it up. He's the other piece you can kind of rely on. But, yes, again,
he's up and down.
A.J. Banks, he was anticipated to be kind of a figurehead for the Cowboys. He was non-existent last night. Taylor, again, Hunter Thompson, again, he was highly touted to at least pick up his game and try and elevate and be at least a contributing factor to the Cowboys. Again, he has not shown up in majority of these games.
I don't know what to make of this team, and all I can say is right now, when you're playing a good outfit, and again, just running down the Mountain West, Boise, New Mexico, San Diego State, you got to throw CSU in there this year.
Oh, yeah. CSU is not the upper echelon teams, but they are, again, talent-wise, again.
They're TCU. They're TCU talent.
I would say so. Again, with Caravaggio, you can't.
Nevada. Again, as I'm just rolling these down, Fresno State. Fresno State is TCU. Okay? I'm telling you right now.
And again, you can't disrespect as well to the nationally 15th ranked Utah State Aggies.
I didn't want to even go there, but
yeah.
I mean, tell me where you're going to see home and home wins. Going to the AA.
Again, it's going to be against Air Force that is struggling mightily this season, which they have been a big.
And they're tough at Clune Arena.
Yeah.
San Jose State, who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here. And
as I said in the preseason, I've been saying throughout this, again, as we're 8 games in, still plenty of contests remaining. But, again, we're approaching now third of the season already done for the Cowboys. This is a team that I don't foresee or they struggle to get double-digit wins this season. And we're talking, I'd say max for this team, maybe 10, maybe 11 wins in total for the 2019-2020 campaign. This is a team that you hate to say it, but I don't think they approach double-digit wins this season. I really don't think so.
And you're into the part of the season now where you just can't change things around. You got to go with this.
Yeah, you're stuck with what you got.
And what's again, if you want to play that type of basketball where you lull the opponent to sleep, it may get those run and shoot type of teams frustrated. But again,
it may catch off guard a Utah State team, or again, now we got to adjust the offense, and we're not used to this, and we got to figure this out. And it might panic them, but again, when you're talking about some of these upper echelon teams, where again Colorado, again top 25 team, halftime score tied 15-15. They picked it up though. They realized, hey, okay, now we know. We saw 20 minutes of what this team is going to offer us on both offense and defense. All right, let's do this differently, step it up, and eventually come away with a victory.
But
Utah State, CSU, Boise, New Mexico, San Diego State, all those teams I would put on that same par, at least mentality-wise, of a TCU, of a Colorado to go, okay, we saw what the Cowboys offer here in the first half. Let's change things up, and let's get it done this way.
But you said it again. Colorado and TCU, 15 points in the first half against the Buffs, even though they were tied. And 14 points against TCU.
You're not winning. No. You're not winning a lot of ball games like that.
And again, remember, you've already got a 32 spot put on you by South Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, let's not talk awful. Let's talk dismal. This is a very dismal offensive team. And again, where I gave you Mountain West, show me the wins. Well, you gave me 2 possibles: Air Force and San Jose, and I say those are splits.
Yeah,
this is.
If the season,
I'm really nervous about this season.
Well, and again, if this season goes to Hoyle as it's kind of looking like it's going to be, of how rough it is, where again they might pick up a dink and dunk kind of win here and there against some of those lower echelon teams that they should beat. But the unfortunate thing is, again, nothing against head coach Allen Edwards, but, again, we know that he is on the hot seat. And, again, with the low attendance right now at the AA there in Laramie for at least Cowboy games, you wonder how fast that clock is ticking that for Coach Allen Edwards, how much longer does he have there in Laramie, Wyoming, being a part of at least that coaching staff with the Wyoming Cowboys?
Well, again, with the 2 losses at the T-Mobile Arena, and again, probably Cowboy fans in general thought, not going to beat the Buffs, maybe we got a shot against TCU. In backdoor thinking, okay?
All right.
But again, when you're putting up, and I say it again, 15 points first half against the Buffs, 14 against TCU, not going to sell a lot of tickets. Going to be a tough sell to get people to come and cheer you on when you can't even put anything in the bucket.
Well,
people want to see scores, Nick.
Well, especially, again, compared to your women's counterpart, again, they play in quarters, but, again, it's still 10 minutes. It equates to 20 minutes in total per half for the Wyoming Cowgirls. Again, you go back to their contest on the road against North Dakota State, again, against a Lady Bison team that is 0-6, albeit in the Summit League. But,
right.
Again, you look at that first half of the Wyoming Cowgirls on the road, still managed to muster up in a first half, so to speak. Again, a complete total of around, 34 points?
Yeah, 30. They were leading 34-33 at the intermission.
20 points more than your male counterpart.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the basket's still 10 feet high.
Yeah.
It's still 15 feet from the free throw line. I almost feel like I'm doing Hoosiers all over, and it's still 19-9 from beyond the arc.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the stripe is.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
There's no difference. Again, you play 20 minutes consistently. They split that time up into 2 different quarters, so to speak, for that first half or second half. But other than that, though, again, you look at, men to women, Cowgirls find a way to get that offense. They also do find a way to get wins as well, too. Again, 14 points in an entire half in 20 minutes, where you're averaging less than a point per minute.
We suffered through last season enough. All right?
That's why that's why I bring up the question of how much longer will this last? How much time is remaining for Coach Allen Edwards?
Well, and again, the butts in the seats are going to be more the telling factor than you and me sitting here whining about it. But again,
imagine what it's going to be like here now as we approach at least these winter breaks for students. Where
I understand
they're going to have better things to do.
They're not even going to show up. And again, those that are fans, they've got their season tickets sold. Okay, So that automatically counts. But when you and me go sit down in there and we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and count them out,
you're going to have tickets sold, attendance that says about 3,000 or 2,500. The reality is not going to fit that actual, at least that number. The actuality
how many walk-ups did you get? And you know what? Not going to be a lot.
Handful.
And again, when you go to a basketball game, you go to see offense. I mean, you want to see your team outscore the other team. This team,
you want a 77-80 output of what we're seeing in the JUCOs.
You can't score. I don't care who you put on the floor. You got no consistency on the floor. Maybe right now Maldonado might be your most consistent player because Hendricks is up, down. Thompson, 1 game here, 2 games gone.
Yeah.
That's your big 3. This is not a good offensive team. And I'm telling you, the fans, you know it as well as I do. You win, they'll show up. You lose, they got better things to do. You said it best.
They're not going to travel in the winter. They're not going to Laramie.
Even the Laramie folks aren't even going to go.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a timeout. We're going to be back with more after this on 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Relieve your stress. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. With a new Kia vehicle, you get one of the best warranties in America. The new 2019 Kia Sorento comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. 2019 Kia Sorento gives you up to 122 cubic feet of cargo space, 7-passenger seating, available all-wheel drive, and wireless charging for your devices. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
Compassionate, expert, efficient care. The cornerstones of Cheyenne Urological with Doctors Bryant, Everett, Gajewski, and Suleski, providing top-notch treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities. And now, Cheyenne Urological is offering Resume, a new non-invasive procedure for BPH using water vapor. So for the finest in urinary care, call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Otherwise, for today, partly sunny, expected daytime high of 18. For tonight, mostly cloudy. Our low dropping down around 14 degrees. For tomorrow, the Thanksgiving Day holiday, we're calling for a mostly cloudy sky. Look for a daytime high of 31. Mostly cloudy Thursday night with our low down to 16 degrees.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
There's 17 points, more points here tonight, and that second quarter really stood out there. What allowed you guys to get that foothold in that second quarter?
Well, we didn't turn the ball over. I mean, turnovers were egregious. Like that word? Egregious tonight. And so I thought in that second quarter we played a much cleaner game. Didn't beat ourselves. And that's one thing I told our players. You build a 20-point lead, and then the third quarter alone we had 10 turnovers and 15 points. And that's like the fourth or fifth time this year when we built leads and just did not execute or handle the ball and value the ball at a high enough level. So we have to be a lot better in that regard. But we scored that many points in the second. Our defense was really good. We didn't turn it over, and we got out and ran. I thought that second unit was really good for us.
Speaking of the second unit, Jeremy Grant with a really big day. Just what did you like about his performance?
Attack. You know, when Jeremy Grant is a spot-up three-point shooter, you're getting half the player that he is. When Jeremy Grant attacks, puts pressure on the basket, gets to the foul line 7 times, he becomes just a threat in so many different ways. So I think that's a career high as a Denver Nugget player. Which is great to see, and we need that from Jeremy. 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 free throw attempts. So great numbers for Jeremy.
Speaking of attack, 70 points in the paint for you guys. What was working there?
Just the attack mindset, not settling. You know, obviously, we struggle to make shots tonight from the three-point line, 6 of 24. So when the shot's not going, don't just settle. Play in attack mode. I know the stat sheet says we only had 15 fast break points, but we accounted for 36 transition points. We wanted to get out and run, play at our pace, play with some tempo, and we were able to do that tonight.
Trae Young being one notable exception, you guys have typically held opposing team stars down for a good part of the season. What are some of the things that you are attributing that to? Obviously, Gary Harris playing great defense in his individual matchups, but what are some of the things that you attribute to you guys really locking down opposing team stars?
Well, you always want to make it difficult for the other team's best player, so you game plan for that. And I just gave Gary a lot of love in there because it's back-to-back games guarding two of the better shooting guards in the NBA. And not that he did it all by himself, but he did the lion's share of the work. You know, when you hope Bradley Beal to 6 of 15, 2 of 10 from 3, and they only got to the foul line twice. Those are great numbers. That team was averaging 119 points a game. They only scored 104. They were shooting 48 from the field, only 42 tonight. But Gary did a great job, Nick. But as a team, the game plan, the preparation, and our guys trusting. Like, that's one thing I love about as part of our culture. Me trusting my coaches, the players trusting us, the game plan, and then going out there and executing it. And the guys have done a really good job of that as of late.
You said before that you guys have gotten soft with success when you guys build those double-digit leads. What do you think it was tonight? And is that just sort of a lack of engagement or a little complacency, or what do you attribute it to?
Tonight it was just sloppy. You know, I mean, the turnovers, once again, you in one quarter to have 10 turnovers in one quarter for 15 points, that truly is inexcusable. I mean, they weren't picking us up full court. It wasn't Nolan Richardson's 40 minutes of hell. It was just us trying to do things and getting a little bit bored with success almost. And we can just come down and mess around. And when you do that, you give other teams hope in life. And we have to stop doing that. We have to value the ball at a much higher level.
You mentioned Jeremy Grant playing closer to the rim or being closer to the rim. Are there things that he's doing besides being aggressive, or things the team is doing that is getting him more in those spots?
Yeah, we're looking to, him settling for threes early was not just on him, it's also on me. How can I put him in different spots? You know, and I even went back after maybe our first 10 games and watched a bunch of his film in Oklahoma City, how they used him. Now, we don't have Russell Westbrook and Paul George and Steven Adams, and we're a different type of a team in how we play, but I wanted to put him in areas where I feel and felt and believe that he can attack. And he's done that, and I think in the last 4 or 5 games we've seen a much more aggressive Jeremy Grant, and that's great for him, but more importantly, Adam, it's great for us.
He had 17 points, but he also had 8 rebounds and 8 assists. How impressed are you just with the full facet of things that he is, offering to you guys?
Well, he's a complete player. I mean, that's what you love about Will. He's a guy that can create for himself. He can create for his teammates. I thought his reads tonight in the pick and roll game, finding guys late in the pocket, wraparound passes, was phenomenal. He's our second leading rebounder, so he continues to do that every single night for us. And I can't say enough about him because he's been really good on both ends of the floor in all areas, so that's got to continue.
80 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And happy Thanksgiving from all of our fine sponsors here on Wyoming Sports Talk Today, in addition to Nick and myself and the Wyoming Sports Talk crew here. We want to thank Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D, the Greenway Commons. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Lennox Auto Body, Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. Medicap Pharmacy, right on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Del Range across from Powers Field and Menards. Platte Valley Bank on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing, and the original location on Van High. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, and to thank all of you, all of our Taco Johns here in Cheyenne. Again, they all wish you a very happy Thanksgiving, and again, they thank you for all that you've done for them over the many, many moons that you've been doing business with them. And we always want to say thank you to our fine scoreboard sponsor, that being Pepsi of Cheyenne. You may want to load up on some Pepsi. Got a lot of football going on tomorrow. Here's Nick with the scoreboard.
Recapping last night's contest between LCCC men's basketball and Trinidad State Junior College, where LCCC was on the road at Trinidad taking on the Trojans, where for LCCC it was a close one, but unfortunately they lost the contest 80-77. So with that loss, LCCC does fall to 1-7 overall. Their next contest will be coming up this Saturday, 3 o'clock, live from Price, Utah, as they will be taking on Utah State University Eastern, the Eagles. That is a 3 o'clock tip-off time. They're live in Price this Saturday, a game that we will have here live on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is where you can hear the contest. Video live streaming live from Price via Periscope, via Twitter, and also to the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. NHL action for tonight. Buffalo Sabres at home. They will host the Calgary Flames. The Boston Bruins will travel up to Ottawa to see the Senators. Detroit Red Wings at home at Little Caesars Arena. They will host the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tampa Bay Lightning, they will take on the St. Louis Blues. Live from Madison Square Garden, the New York Rangers will take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Pittsburgh Penguins, they will host the Vancouver Canucks. Florida Panthers will travel out to our nation's capital to see the Washington Capitals at the Capital One Arena. Columbus Blue Jackets at home, they will take on the Philadelphia Flyers. The Vegas Golden Knights will travel to Nashville to see the Predators. In Phoenix, Arizona, the Arizona Coyotes will host the Anaheim Ducks. Edmonton Oilers will travel just 100 miles south of us down to Denver, Colorado to the Pepsi Center to see the Colorado Avalanche, which is an 8 o'clock start time. You can't see this game on ESPN Plus and Altitude Network. LA Kings at home at Staples. They will host the New York Islanders. And last but not least, the Winnipeg Jets travel to San Jose to see the Sharks live in the Shark Tank.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
say that's what happened in NHL action for tonight.
I'm sorry. It is a full slate of NBA games. Let's get to them right now. Magic will take on the Cavaliers in Cleveland. Jazz and the Pacers in Indianapolis. Nets, Celtics in the TD Garden. Sacramento will face the 76ers at the Wells Fargo Center. Pistons, Hornets in Charlotte. Knicks, Raptors in Toronto. The Hawks and the Bucks in Milwaukee. LA Clippers and the Memphis Grizzlies in the FedEx Forum. The Miami Heat and the Rockets in the Toyota Center. Timberwolves, Spurs in San Antonio. Wizards, Suns in Phoenix. Lakers, Pelicans in New Orleans. It will be the Thunder and the Trailblazers in the Moda Center. And the Warriors tonight in the Chase Center. They will host the Chicago Bulls. Tomorrow, your Turkey Day games will feature, two traditional teams. First at Ford Field, the Lions, who are 3-7-1. They will host the 5-6 Chicago Bears. Game 2, Josh Allen's Buffalo Bills, 8-3, will take on the 6-5 Dallas Cowboys, your NFC least leaders. That will be your second game at 2:30 at Arlington, Texas. And late night game from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Falcons, who are currently 3-8, they will match up with the 9-2 New Orleans Saints. That is your scoreboard here on 1480 KRAE. Want to remind you, after the break, we'll come back. Vic Fangio, Denver Broncos head coach, his press conference as they get ready for the LA Chargers, coming up after this on 1480 KRAE.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi.
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
I think he's fine. He's came in for treatment today, getting some tests, but he's fine at this point.
You want to do a Drew Lock this week? Is it possible he can be on that 53 for Sunday?
It's possible, yeah. I mean, we don't have to make a declaration on him until next Tuesday, I believe. As far as this week goes, all options are on the table. We could activate them. And we're just going to make that decision here in the next few days.
One of those options of being the starter this week?
Possibly, yeah.
What would he need to do in that to go from off roster to starting, Vic, in terms of Sunday? What would you need to kind of see in your mind that would say, you know what, he's ready to go out there?
Well, just see some more practice, but really, you know, the practices now at this time of year are limited. You know, you're talking like 40 plays a day. Just to make sure he's okay and physically, which he is, and he's prepared mentally and emotionally to go out there and play.
When will you make that decision on your starting quarterback?
Not sure right now.
Is Brandon okay? I mean, he took a big hit. I think it might have lost him in that first quarter. And did he have any shoulder and or concussion issues?
No. You know, he was checked out when he came to the sideline. Everything checked out fine. The official didn't deem it necessary to, you know, how they have the ability to remove a guy from a game. So he was fine. I spoke to him at halftime about something, you know, nothing to do with his health, but about the game, and he was fine with me.
How much of that yesterday do you put on him? What do you hold him responsible for in that?
Well, he didn't play well, obviously, but, you know, the whole offensively, we didn't have a good day, and when the quarterback's not playing well and then it's not being played well around him either, that just amplifies the quarterback's play too. So we just didn't play well. Give Buffalo's defense credit. They played really good.
I think you said last week maybe if a guy goes in and doesn't respond well to adversity, maybe he's not the guy you want long term anyway. So I guess then what is the concern maybe for not playing Drew? What would be the reasoning there?
Just practice time. You know, the guy hadn't from, you know, whenever it was in August when he went out till he was on the shelf for 10 weeks. And just all that lost time and preparation.
Do you think defensively maybe some of the spirit or energy was fractured a bit just as they saw the offense struggling so much?
No. We had a bad day on third down. They converted 4 out of 6, 3rd and 9 to 12s. And, you know, that was really the difference on that side of the ball during the game. You know, if we had stopped some of those, obviously there have been more series. Really don't know how it would turn out ultimately. But 3rd and 9 to 12 was our downfall defensively yesterday. You know, you give them more plays, and then, yeah, we didn't play the run well, but those go back to those conversions too.
Lawson had 3 run on both of his sacks. On those kind of plays, where were the breakdowns?
One was a communication error in the O-line, and the other one, I think he was going to come free. We need to get rid of the ball quicker.
Over the next 5 games, Coach, will you maybe experiment with a different rotation up front on the offensive line, perhaps at left tackle, anything?
Well, that's all dependent upon Juwan. You know, he's cleared to play, but we got to get him ready to play. You know, he's got to get mentally ready to play, emotionally ready to play, and be able to go out there and play good, not just go out there. So that's part of that equation.
Justin had another pick yesterday. Is he playing at or near a Pro Bowl level in your mind?
Yeah, he's playing very well for us. You know, we're awful happy to have him. I think he's going to have a great career here, and he's been playing well all year.
Despite the lack of practice time for Drew, have you seen a jump from training camp to now, just in terms of his progress with the offense and everything that comes with it?
I've seen a little bit of a jump in comfortability, you know, and I think he learned a lot from the sideline about how to handle certain things. You'll handle the huddle, calling the plays. I do think he got a better understanding, albeit from the sideline.
Vic, how do you determine whether it's Juwan or Drew if he's emotionally ready to handle the NFL game?
Just by talking to him, watching him practice.
I find you use the term ready, talking about Drew. Is that specific to quarterback, do you think, or is that every position for a young guy when they first start playing?
I think it's every position, really. Just that the quarterback position gets more of a microscope on it. And he does have more on his plate than all the other positions from a mental standpoint.
Is Cortland Sutton okay after tweaking the ankle yesterday?
Yes. I mean, he tweaked his ankle, but he's fine.
Connor McGovern and Reisner, how did they come out of the game, having been on the injury report the week prior?
Pretty good. No worse than they were. Obviously, it affected them a little bit. They're sore today, but they're not worse than they were last week at this time.
What about Jewel, Duke Dawson, and Shelby? Their health status, any updates there?
We think they'll be fine. Duke's in the concussion protocol, so that's all in their hands. And the other two guys have, tweaked their ankles also. We're hopeful that they'll be fine by the end of the week.
With Juwan James, why do you think there's been a gap between him being physically ready to play and emotionally, mentally ready to play?
Just he's got to have confidence that he can go out there and play with his knee, coming off the injury. I don't think he had that the last time he tried to play when he came back. He was fine physically, but I don't think he, in his own mind, was comfortable and confident.
How was Adam Gotsis looked after he was not demoted, but put down in week 5 and coming back? How was he?
He's been okay. He's had his, moments, some good, some not so good. Had to play a little bit more yesterday than he had been playing because of Shelby injuring his ankle, but it's been good.
I think when you talk about Drew in practice time, would 3 practices this week make that big a difference? Or
It could. The more reps you get, every rep is one that you got put in the bank, and it always helps. Problem for him this time of year is, in training camp we're getting a bunch of reps. You're talking roughly about 40 reps a day now this time of year. So there's limited opportunities for that, but I do think every rep is important.
do you have to decide before Wednesday to determine some kind of rotation in practice?
Not necessarily. It all depends on what we decide.
Does opponent affect if you were going to get a shot to start? Potentially, obviously, the Chargers have 2 pretty good edge rushers.
Yeah. All the defenses seem to have some good players, so it's something you talk about, but I think ultimately it's not as big.
When you see some of these teams get young quarterbacks on the field sooner, they tweak the playbook a little bit or tailor it to them. Can that be part of the conversation if Drew is able to get the verbiage out and be comfortable in the huddle? Can you tweak things to accelerate it or microwave it a little bit?
Yeah, you always have to do that anytime you going with a new player, particularly a quarterback. Call and play to the guy what he feels comfortable executing.
How much more consistency do you need to see special teams-wise?
Well, we would like to be more consistent there. Punter actually was having a pretty damn good day in light of the conditions until that last punt, and then we shanked one and got a penalty on it, so that wasn't good. We need to be more consistent. You're right.
Does it make any difference, Vic, to you if Drew is going to play this year, if his first start's on the road in a hostile environment, or if it's at home? Does that play into anything?
It's kind of like, his question back there, the opponent. It's something you consider, but I don't think it's the ultimate decider. Eventually you got to play a road game.
It's become apparent that Drew likes the hot topic with your team.
Really? With you guys it is.
Yeah, but do you feel it? Does the public wants Drew to play, it would appear.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have anything to do with, as you guys are talking about it, going through the decision?
No, I think we need to make the decision that we feel is best, understanding everybody's wants, from your group and the group outside. But we need to make the decision that we feel is best for Drew and the team, and at that time we will.
Is it a case of if he had a game like Brandon had Sunday, you just got to leave him?
Just what?
If you put Drew in the lineup and he has a game like Brandon did Sunday, does he just stay in the lineup and it doesn't?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, every game has its own little story to it, so depends upon what the facts are.
Time for a few more for the coach.
Cornerback depth, with Duke in the protocol, do you have to make any changes there, roster changes or anything?
Yeah, we need to look at that, and Cyrus's illness affects that too. So, we already were kind of light back there, as you guys know. So, yeah, we need to look at that.
Does that affect Drew's position, just having to juggle the roster there?
No.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, thank you.
Give your family and friends the gift of safety and security this holiday season with B&B Appliances' lineup of Ring doorbells and security cameras. Monitor your surroundings from the convenience of your phone or tablet. Any customer who purchases one of their connected home products will receive a free Google Mini while supplies last. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Ave. Best brands, hometown service.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now, Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
At Platte Valley Bank, we love to see our customers come through the door. Well, we know life can be busy, and you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking products with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, mobile deposit, and now digital wallet. At Platte Valley Bank, you can manage your money how you want, when you want. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly sunny, expected daytime high of 18. For tonight, mostly cloudy. Our low dropping down around 14 degrees. For tomorrow, the Thanksgiving Day holiday, we're calling for a mostly cloudy sky. Look for a daytime high of 31. Mostly cloudy Thursday night with our low down to 16 degrees.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Peretti along with Nick Peretti. Program, well, it's, I guess, almost could be up till 5 o'clock. We're going to go into our pro picks, but I do want to take this time to acknowledge that here on the local side or state of Wyoming, we lost a very very profound football coach, and one John Deti, who passed away last Friday. Now, you did not have that opportunity to play against the John Deti teams. He had already
no,
retired.
the Deti name.
Yeah,
again, whether
Deti
it's
Stadium.
Stadium
And
or
again,
yeah.
John took over for his dad, taking over the Plainsman team. I saw many games, and I was critical of Coach Deti, how many times he would be out on the field where, they all say, get back.
Yeah.
Coach Deti would always be on the field telling the referees this, that, and the other thing. But he ran that full house backfield. They were the epitome of 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and his teams usually were winning and were usually playoff bound and were sometimes at the top. And again, it's always tough to see, or read about losses like that. But I do want to express my sincere gratitude to one of the scribes, David Watson, over in Laramie. And I've known David for many, many years. And David, I just wanted to let you know that what you wrote about Coach Deti was absolutely phenomenal and right to the point. I mean, you basically pointed out all of what John Deti meant to Laramie, to the Plainsman football program, as well as to Laramie High School. So again, loss of John Deti. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was last Friday during the ball game against CSU, the scoreboard at Deti Stadium or Laramie High School, at the new Laramie High School, the clock showed 1930 when he was born, and then it showed 2019, home 20 and visitor 19. So again, a long life for one John Deti. Unfortunately, no longer with us. But again, the coaches that I refer to here would be, Lou Roney, Brick Sigelski. They had many encounters with Coach Deti through their careers.
Yeah.
And again, always from the time I got here in '86 until the time he retired, always great programs. Of course, they haven't had that luxury over the last few years. In the 21st century, they've really struggled in that program since Deti stepped down.
Yeah, Laramie's kind of been up and down, but more down than anything of, at least here in the 2000s era. But we'll see what happens, at least moving on to another decade here, 2020.
Well, we'll see with Clint Reed if he tackles yet another season.
They need numbers, just like Cheyenne South. That's plain and simple of it.
Yeah, they were down, and their program was really, really down this year. 1-8, and their lone win was against Castle Kelly Walsh week 1, and they did not qualify for the playoffs. All right, let's go to our picks, week 11.
Yeah, week 11.
And,
for these picks.
And may I add that we pushed because we all had the same.
We went 4-1, yeah.
Yeah, so we had a good week last week.
I still have a lead again. Yeah,
I think we'll have some changes. I looked at some of the things here that kind of changed my.
I just looked at the games. I have not gone either way on any of them, except for one. But all
right, let's go to our first contest.
As we get into our Week 11 picks, again, it's 5 games that we pick against the spread, against at least for my choosing, whether it's NCAA football, NFL. We also do go to NBA, NHL, again, whatever games that I find of my fancy that we choose against. For the NCAA football games, I do give 3 little factoids about those matchups just to sway whatever direction. All this information, again, our picks and also to our standings, you can find online at 1480KRAE.com/WyoTalk. Again, on the Wyoming Sports Talk Today page, it's on the sidebar that says weekly picks and standings if you want to follow along, or if not, play along with us on our weekly picks. And it's 5 games of my choosing that we pick against the spread. So we will start with game number 1 of our Week 11 picks. That is happening this Saturday. It will be NCAA action. Game number 1, it will be the Wyoming Cowboys, who are 7-4 overall, 4-3 in the Mountain West play. They are at the Air Force Falcons, who are 9-2 overall, 6-1 in Mountain West play. It's happening at Falcon Stadium in Colorado Springs, Colorado, at the United States Air Force Academy. 12 p.m. kickoff. This game not nationally televised. It's found on Facebook, so that's how you can watch this contest. Air Force in this contest is an 11-point favorite against the Cowboys. Now, Air Force does lead the overall series versus Wyoming 28-26-3, and it has a 19-19 mark in conference games. The Falcons are 16-12-1 at home versus Wyoming. Wyoming has won 3 straight and 5 of the last 6 in the series, and Air Force is 5-0 at home this season and 59-20 under head coach Troy Calhoun at home. So with that all being said, I'll let you go first on this one. The Cowboys to finish out their regular season against the Air Force Falcons down at Colorado Springs.
Well, let's look at it in a very simple light. Air Force and Wyoming both going to bowl games. We already know that. Cowboys getting that win here.
Even though you go off of my argument that I had Monday, but yeah.
No, they're going to go. But the Cowboys,
which I saw that they were at least new updates regarding bowl projections. Wyoming was either Potato Bowl bound or either New Mexico Bowl bound, from what I saw.
Well, all right, it don't matter. They're going to be going bowling, and Air Force going to be going to the Armed Forces Bowl. The thing is, Cowboys are beat up. They're hurt, even Valladay, even though he's got over 1,000 yards rushing,
all right.
He's a little beat up.
I would have down Air Force is probably beat up too.
But they run the ball better than the Cowboys.
Oh yeah,
to the tune of about 80 yards plus a game.
And this is an Air Force team that can put points on the board, that can dissect defenses. They've been doing it throughout this entire, at least 2019 campaign.
And as of today, Wednesday, Air Force still has something to play for, at least a share of the Mountain Division, depending on Friday. They'll know Friday afternoon if they are playing for second place in the Mountain West.
Yeah, because Boise will have that early contest,
Yeah, against CSU. But also under Troy Calhoun, they're looking for their first 10-win season. So there's a lot going on for Air Force as opposed to the Cowboys. Now, the line is 11. I am going to go with the Falcons. I think they're a lot better. They were a lot better than the Cowboys last year. The Cowboys somehow, some way, found a way to pull it out. The Air Force got sloppy. I don't think they're going to get sloppy.
This is a different Air Force team.
They're not going to get sloppy in the academy. And again, if you've ever been to, the Air Force, the cadets and the crew will be out there. Wyoming can only have so many fans there, but. This one, I'm going to go with Air Force. I think they'll cover the 11 points.
I agree with you on Air Force. This game might get ugly. It may be a situation that Air Force might put up, about a 2-touchdown, 3-touchdown, at least victory against the Cowboys. I can easily see that. This is an Air Force team that scores fast and, again, pretty often as well, too, as we've seen throughout this entire 2019 season for the Falcons. Yeah, this one's easy. Air Force, they have a lot to play for. Again, an opportunity to at least have that share of the Mountain Division title with Boise State if CSU was able to pull off that upset. But Air Force, without a doubt, at home, they will get it done against this contest. And again, we'll cover that 11-point spread. So we will both agree in that contest that Air Force will win and win big.
They say the over-under is 42. I'll take the over on that one.
Yeah, I would too. I think Air Force could put up a 40 spot by itself in Saturday's game.
Yeah, and again, defenses. The Cowboys should be able to score against Air Force.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to argue that. The Wyoming Cowboys defense is good. I'm not going to take anything away from that. But again, this flex bone that they run at Air Force is a year older than last year and a lot better.
Yeah, without a doubt. Moving on to game number 2, still sticking with Saturday, more NCAA action, more Mountain West, at least involving one team. But it will be the BYU Cougars, who are 7-4 overall. They will be at the San Diego State Aztecs, who are 8-3. That's happening at SDCCU Stadium in San Diego, California. 7 p.m. kickoff on CBS Sports Network is where you can watch this contest. BYU on the road, they are a 3-point favorite against San Diego State. Now, the Cougars do own a 28-7-1 series lead. They have won the last 6 games and 10 of the last 11 encounters between the teams. San Diego State is 5-12-1 all-time against BYU in San Diego. In the previous 36 games in the series, only 4 have been decided by less than a touchdown between BYU and San Diego State. So San Diego State's, again, a team that has determined that they are not going to win the West. Again, Hawaii is your West Division champion. They will represent in the Mountain West Championship game. BYU just pretty much trying to add more wins. Again, they are an independent team, so they're just trying to add one more to get a bigger and better bowl, so to speak, especially with a quality win that BYU does have, whether it is against Utah State or Boise. Now looking to get at least 3 Mountain West, at least opponents as victories on that schedule. So on the road for BYU 3-point favorite in this game. Yeah, I think BYU, so to speak, gets the Mountain West sweep, does get the victory on the road against San Diego State, albeit San Diego will probably slow down this BYU team. I think this might be a close one between these two, but I think the Cougars have enough. They've played in that stadium many times before. Again, go back a couple of years ago where they were playing against the Cowboys in the Poinsettia Bowl out there. I think BYU, yeah, without a doubt, takes care of business, covers that spread, gets a win.
It's interesting, too, with San Diego State because their defense is really good. I mean, their last 5 games, 17 points they gave up, 17. They gave up 17 at Nevada, gave up 7 against Fresno, and gave up 14 against Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
BYU lives by the pass. They have for years. And again, they throw for 281 yards. I'm curious in this game, will they be able to throw on that secondary? So Wilson for BYU, he's going to have his work cut out for him. The Cougars are favored by 3. San Diego and BYU. You know, BYU's played a tough schedule.
Again, they gave Boise State their lone loss this year.
And San Diego State, you know, in the beginning they play a tough schedule, but that West Division has been this year.
Yeah, other than Hawaii, where, again, San Diego State lost to Hawaii. So, and again, that I agree with you where, again, San Diego State really hasn't been tested. The other test would probably be against the Cowboys, but, again, that was in San Diego.
And again, I'm not going to take nothing away from their defense, but do I think BYU wins? Yes. Do they cover the spread? Absolutely.
All right, so we'll both agree on that one. We'll both go with the Cougars to take care of the Aztecs coming up this Saturday down there in San Diego, California. We'll move to Sunday's action with NFL contests as game number 3 of our Week 11 picks. How about this one? This is a big matchup for big, at least, implications for both teams, but it will be the San Francisco 49ers, who are 10-1 overall. They will be at the Baltimore Ravens, who are 9-2 overall. This happening at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. 11 a.m. kickoff bright and early on Fox is where you can watch this contest. Baltimore, the Ravens at home. How about this? Are 6-point favorite against the 49ers. Again, a 49ers team that is 10-1. Their only loss to the Seattle Seahawks.
You know, I'm waiting for the Ravens to lay an egg, but they seem to getting better.
Well, the funny thing is between these two, Baltimore has 3 wins against all NFC West teams outside of the 49ers. The 49ers have 3 wins against the AFC North, albeit the Baltimore Ravens.
And again, too, you're waiting for the Ravens to lay an egg. Well, they haven't done it. Like I said, they've gotten better. 49ers, they're good on both sides of the football.
Look what they just did against another powerhouse team, so to speak, of the Green Bay Packers. Embarrassed them. Granted, that was at Levi's.
Right.
Now you got to go on the road to Maryland, where, again, 49ers have already made that trek out there when they took on Washington in that slop bowl. But, again, they came away with that victory against the Redskins.
And, again, you know, weather's going to play a big part.
Supposed to rain again out there, yeah.
But I've got to go. You know, I'm looking for that lay an egg game, and I think the Niners have not laid an egg this year. They've been very good or very competitive against Seattle, for example.
Oh, yeah.
I think this might be the lay an egg game. I'm going to go with Baltimore in this one to win.
All right, well, I'll go against you on this one. I believe in the 49ers again. I'm not going against my team.
I love the 49ers. I just think this might be the one.
This is where, again, people thought they were going to get tested and lose to Green Bay this past, at least, weekend. I think this is the same situation that the 49ers have a lot to prove to folks around the league, around the nation, around the world, and this is another statement win that they need. And, again, they've matched up. Again, talk about the Seattle loss. They lost in overtime. They lost due to a missed field goal, so to speak, in that contest. So, again, 49ers can be competitive with some of the best. And granted, they are now going through the thick of it, at least of the tough part of their schedule, where they'll see the Ravens, Saints, Seahawks once again. So they got some stiff competition to kind of bolster it and kind of build up this team as they head into the playoffs. But 49ers, I think, absolutely on the road, can get it done, will get it done, and I think they will defeat the Baltimore.
And I hope they do. I don't have a problem taking a loss in this one.
All right, so you'll go Baltimore to cover at least that 6 points. I say 49ers win that contest. So moving on to game number 4 of our Week 11 picks, still staying on Sunday with NFL action. How about this? It is battle for the AFC West, at least to take the lead or at least retain it again in that division. But it will be the Oakland Raiders, who are 6-5 overall. They will be at the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 7-4 currently. This happening at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. 2:25 kickoff on CBS, where Kansas City, the Chiefs, at home against the Oakland Raiders, who got whipped on against the Jets. Kansas City's a 10-point favorite at home.
And you're up.
This one, how pathetic the Raiders looked against the Jets.
That was a lay and egg game.
You wonder if that was, hey, you got it out of your system, now be competitive against Kansas City. Kansas City is also a very good and talented team that you're waiting for them to kind of flip the switch, so to speak, and get back to where they were last season of just how impressive they are. 10 points, though, against the Raiders, where, again, Jets took care of business. Yeah, I'll take Kansas City. I think Kansas City could take care of business, could embarrass the Raiders back-to-back weeks. Absolutely. I'll go with the Chiefs over the Raiders.
Like I said, last week was the lay of the egg game for the Raiders. They were absolutely hideous. The Jets exposed some really, really deficiencies in the Raiders. Raiders basically kissed themselves goodbye. A, out of the AFC West division title hunt. B, out of the wild card race. They're going.
If they win it, though, they're tied with Kansas City.
They're not going to win. Kansas City is going to get hot, and Mahomes is going to get better as he's starting to feel more confident out there. Kansas City covers this. This could be a 3-score win for Kansas City.
Yeah, especially they're happening at Arrowhead. I have
even in weather.
Yeah, again, at least Kansas City will both agree with the Chiefs to take care of business against the Oakland Raiders coming up on Sunday. Now, our Game 5 will at least happen on Monday Night Football, part of our Week 11 picks. How about this matchup between the Minnesota Vikings, who are 8-3 overall? They will be at the Seattle Seahawks, 9-2 overall. This happening at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. 6:15 is where you can watch, and ESPN's where you can watch this contest. The Seahawks at home against the Minnesota Vikings are only a 3-point favorite at home.
Well, if we're going to make comparisons, the Vikings defense doesn't compare to the 49ers defense.
No.
They're good, but they're not great.
I still don't know what to make of this Vikings.
And the offense is not comparable yet to the 49ers offense.
Yeah.
And the Niners lost to the Seahawks at Levi Stadium.
In a fluky loss.
But again, Seahawks at home at CenturyLink.
Who are, again, mortal-ish. They've struggled against lower-down teams. Again, granted, that was earlier in the season, but Seattle is not as completely dominant as they were at CenturyLink.
And again, Seahawks, no. They're sitting at number 5. A win could vault them as high as number 2, I do believe.
And obviously they got a complete day to watch and scoreboard watch to see what's the situation in the NFC.
I got to go with Seattle at home. I think they cover the spread. And do they whip on the Vikings? Not really, but they do beat them by more than what they're favored by.
To make it interesting, where, again, we only selected at least against one game, that being the 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. You go Seattle. Yeah, sure. Minnesota, they could. I have no faith in the pick, but just to make things interesting between us two.
Don't do it if you feel.
Again, Minnesota can match up with Seattle. Seattle again is very vulnerable at home, albeit they're at CenturyLink again in front of that 12th man fan base. But again, Minnesota they've held their own against some of the top teams in the NFC, or at least throughout their schedule that they faced against. So, sure, Minnesota could pull off the upset. I'll go Minnesota just to make it interesting.
All right, so there's our picks for the week.
Yeah, for Week 11, again, just to recap them, Wyoming versus Air Force. We both agree that Air Force should take care of business of that 11-point spread. BYU and San Diego State, we both agree with the Cougars in that one. 49ers taking on the Ravens in Baltimore. You go Baltimore, I go San Francisco. Raiders in Kansas City at Arrowhead. We both agree that the Chiefs should whip on the Oakland Raiders. And last but not least, we'll split on Minnesota and Seattle. You go Seahawks, I go Vikings on Monday Night Football.
All right, well, we are going to shut down a little bit early here today. So, again, on behalf of Nick and Pops Pro out of here, and again, all of us at 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYY, all part of Pro Shop Radio Broadcasting, LLC.